um, you've came a long way. You've came a long way, and I don't know why you're so hard on yourself right now. I really don't know why you're so hard on yourself. I can imagine one of the reasons why you're so hard on yourself is because you're not where you would like to be in your life. You're not where you want to be in your life. And that in itself is a negative and a depressive thought. And the reason why I say it's a negative and a depressive thought is because that is a thought that will hold you back from maximizing and living a full and healthy life. I had a thought even myself, just understanding the journey that I'm on and what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish and all these different things that's going on in my life and a bunch of transitions going on and Lord knows what else is going to be in store for me. But one thing that I have to remember and one thing that helps me throughout this is understanding that what I'm going through right now is not a forever thing. A circumstance and a situation and a feeling is never a forever thing. You know, there's things in our lives that happen to us, traumas, things that we didn't ask to be done to us. There are things that we were born into, right? We could have been born into poverty. We could have been born into poor, unhealthy relationships. We could have been born into, just just chaos. You know, you may have not went to the best schools, had the best education. You may not have the best job right now. You may not be financially stable, right? Um, I'm a firm believer that God will transcend and change any circumstance that maybe you have put yourself into or that you were born into. I always have to ground myself in knowing again that what I'm feeling is temporary. You know, it only becomes a permanent feeling when I choose to make it a permanent feeling. Like when I choose not to think a positive thought or when I choose not to pray or just give it to God. When we talk about our circumstances, our situations, and how we feel, a lot of times we say, oh, I can't help how I feel, right? I can't help how I feel. Like, it's just how I am. And I believe like that's a poor excuse to give yourself if you're looking to better yourself. You know, I feel as there are things that we do that are probably our first mind, right? So we may react a certain way based on our upbringing, based on our personal experience, the things we've done in our lives. But I'm a firm believer, being a therapist, that behaviors can change, right? Your first mind probably maybe never changed. Like you probably feel some type of way around certain situations all the time, but the way you respond to it can become a choice once you recognize and you realize that what you're doing and your actions are a choice. They're no longer these instincts, these are choices. And sometimes we don't make the best choices and we wonder why our situation, our circumstances are staying the same, right? Circumstances and feelings are not really built on solid foundations all the time. You know, you may be stressed out about money, but money can come and money can go. Circumstances and situations can change all the time. And one thing that I'm really, really, really intentional about now is my time. Like my time is my number one asset. I'm not worried about, money like that. And it's not to say that I have like a huge abundance of money or anything like that, or I'm super wealthy or super rich. Far from it. You know what I mean? But I know that all it takes is one. It takes one opportunity. It takes one time. It takes one situation. Um, Even in this YouTube journey, it just takes one video. One video blows up, and that's a wrap. You feel me? So I would encourage you not to build your life around circumstances and not to build your life around your emotions, because your emotions and your circumstances are two things that seem like they are permanent, but they are not permanent. Somebody may be in financial situation and you hit the lotto, right? You're not in the same financial situation anymore, right? You may have experienced homelessness like myself, and no longer are you homeless, right? Your circumstances change. So you can't build, your forever on a circumstance. You feel me? You can't build what God has in store for you on a circumstance or an emotion, right? And that's one thing I'm really big on with my practice is understanding that we do have circumstances and situations that we go through, right? But that's what therapy is for. Therapy is for you to process that. It's a space to process and try to figure out why you feel the way you feel and change your perspective or even change your behaviors of how you're reacting towards the situation, right? So we can't, especially when we have tools like therapy, there is no excuse. You feel me? There's no excuse as to why you're so worried about something maybe you can't control. You can't control every situation. You got to let some stuff go. And when we talk about you not being where you want to be, can you take some self accountability for that? Can you hold yourself accountable? Like real talk, can you hold yourself accountable for not being where you want to be? And the accountability part comes in where you're mad about your situation or your circumstance, but you're not mad about the work you didn't put in, right? You can't be mad about your circumstance or your situation if you did not put in the work to change your circumstance or the situation. And maybe you feel like you did put in the work, right? You put in countless hours. You've been trying. You've been very persistent. But that's also a call for reflection too, because are you where you started? No, you're not where you started, but you're not where you want to be. So now you're upset and you're pissed off and you're tripping. You're tripping. You're bugging. You're in your head. You have to let that stuff go. You have to let go of the idea of you should be somewhere else. You have to let go of the idea of I need to be somewhere else. You need to let go of the idea of I'm not good enough, I'm not doing well, or this thing isn't working for me. Really change your mindset on the situation or the circumstance that you're in. Don't build a house on sand. Lay a solid foundation. Don't build all your hopes and your dreams based on your circumstance or your emotion. And don't switch up anything you got going on based on your emotions or a circumstance. And keep going. Keep going. So that's my thought for this video. Hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you know when these videos are about to drop. Until next time, y'all take care. Peace.